Alright guys, so today we're going over how to make a Longshot Shotgun Foregrip. And I know not many people on YouTube explain how these are exactly made, so I'm going to do that today. So the material you're going to need a 2-inch PVC adapter, and that's going to be cut up and used as the front handle here. You're going to need these little 3/8 inch bolts. You can either get 10/32 or 10/32 or 10/24. I think that's how you say that. And those are going to be going onto the front here. I'm going to be using 6 of these. You're going to need a 3-inch bolt that's going to go through the back, through the breech, through the actual priming mechanism. That's how that's going to work. And a couple of nylon screws to lock this in. Last but not least, you're going to need acrylic sheet. This is pretty expensive and very frustrating to work with, and we're going to use that to actually make the arms. You can use aluminum and other substances, but I just like this because it's clear and I think it looks very cool. I went out and got myself a new zombie Longshot to put this onto. And so the tools you're going to need a pen or some kind of marking pen thingy. I got a Sharpie here, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a saw. Now a lot of these people who cut polycarbonate or acrylic sheet use machine saws. I don't have that. I have a handsaw blade with some duct tape so I can hold it and do the workings, and I'll show you how frustrating that gets in a bit. So let's get started. Alright guys, I just want to make a quick point here. If you plan to mod your Longshot anyway, do not put the bolt on. I have a few Longshots, and I should have known better, but it took me many tries to pry this off with a hammer and some flathead screwdrivers, and that made some dings in the gun. But just a heads up, guys. So the first thing we're doing here is that we're going to be cutting out these 2 little nubs on the sides. And as you can see, I have drawn 2 lines here. I'm going to be cutting along those lines straight down so that this can slide into the grooves of the front here. Here, I'll show you it on my bolter. As you can see, like that. So that is what we are doing now, and it should be a breeze. Alright guys, I'm back inside, and as you can see here, I've chopped down the 2 nubs so this can fit on. This took me a couple tries to get, and I've cut out about, I want to say, a little less than an inch gap, and then a bigger inch and something here. And I sanded them down so they're very thin at the edges. Let me get them focused. Come on, camera, focus. As you can see, they've been thinned down at the edges right there. And that is so that it can slide into these grooves smoothly, and that's how that is done. And the reason for this end to be bigger is that you need to be able to slide past this weird section of the Longshot's rail. So it goes on like that, and to slide back, we slide all the way back, and that's when we need the parts to be fatter. And of course right now it's loose because it's not connected to anything yet, but once up here it kind of locks up and slides in very nicely. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the acrylic sheet. Alright guys, so cutting sheet acrylic is really weird if you don't have the right tools. The right tools cost way too much. So this is like a DIY setup of mine. I have a bunch of these Asian Moon Festival cake boxes that are all the same, I guess, height, and I set them like so. This is also a box. The lid's just painted black, so it's leveled. I have it leveled. I have a crack between them where I can slide my saw back and forth, and I have the line already dotted out. And I'm doing this indoors because it's freezing outdoors, so I have a piece of cardboard catching all the little powder that's dropping out of this acrylic. And you want to cut it, have a hand hold it, and cut at the same time, or have a friend hold the sheet while you're carefully going through. You want to go very slow, as if you're drawing some kind of awesome piece of artwork, or else it will crack on you like this. This happened to me the last time when I did that one. So just be very slow and patient when you're working with a sheet acrylic, or maybe get a professional to cut it for you. Wish me luck. Okay, after what seemed like forever, I finally cut it out with the help of a friend to hold down the acrylic. So to zoom out, this I cut 5" this way and 34 centimeters this way. I don't know why I measured centimeters here, inches here, but that's what you guys want. 34 centimeters on one side and 5 inches on the width. And now we're gonna go 2.5 inches and cut it straight down. Alright guys, now I'm outside and I finished cutting them in this shape. That's the final shape I'm gonna keep them as. And on this one, I took off the safety no scratch cover, I guess, and that's how nice it looks. And right now I'm on this stone grinding down, and as you can see, I've already grounded that corner down. That's just how that's done, and then do the rest. I'm gonna start drilling the holes and we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, so I just finished drilling 8 holes, 3 down here, 1 up here. The one up here is for the bolt sled itself, and these 3 are going to be connected to the front grip. There's 6 holes in the front grip, and if you can imagine, that's how it's going to be done. And I'm only a few bolts away from finishing this mod. So this is the foregrip completed. I signed it down there. This is my second foregrip, so that's why it's numbered number 2. That's how the lock nuts work. And so this is what we're going to use for the back. We're going to be using a 3-inch long bolt that's going to go all the way across, and the other end is going to be locked on by a nylon lock nut, and that's going to go all the way in the back like that. And then this is going to go right next to it, so in between it goes the glass, and in between these goes the sheet acrylic. So I'm gonna go do that now. We're so close to finishing. Alright guys, this is my finished product. That's how it's on. The nylon nut is on the outside and a normal nut is seated on the inside to keep the acrylic from going back and forth. And that's how that is. Now what you want to do is you want to look straight down the blaster and pay attention to your acrylic bars, and you want to prime it back. And if that prime makes your acrylic bend in any way, you want to rearrange the bolts a little bit, because over time that tension will either snap or crack your acrylic. Mine functions very nice, very smoothly, and it's a lot steadier than I ever even predicted it to be. So that is the end of this mod guide. Thanks for watching.